Welcome back to the channel. Just a quick update on my rear wheel drive Scirocco build. So yeah, just a quick update really on the progress of the car. We'll start at the front of the car and then work our way back. So engine bay wise, not much has changed, engine wise anyway. Wipers are back in. That's actually a Mark IV / early Mark III wiper motor. It's a complete plug and play with a Scirocco loom. I've also filled the car up with coolant and the engine's full of oil as well. Hoping to get it started really soon. I've also fitted one of these little throttle body vacuum blanking ports. These are from Tom at Dreadnought Customs. Yeah, it looks a hell of a lot neater. I've just stuck that in with some epoxy glue. It basically does away with this old sort of 90-degree adapter that you need to block off. The headlights in the grille are going to need to come off again. So I'm going to have to make up some kind of headlight adjuster mechanisms. I'm struggling to get hold of the clips. And I've just kind of got nuts and bolts on there just now, but I've got an idea. Basically going to weld a captive nut to the rear side of this backing plate. And then there'll be a bolt going through the sort of headlight frame here, and there'll be a compression spring in between, so that as I adjust the bolt in and out, it pushes the light in and out, and the compression spring will keep the tension on the light. So really it should just be able to move in and out quite nicely. I also need to paint the rear side of the lights as well, just to help protect them. As you'll have seen in the last video, the grille's just cable tied on. So I'd rather get a slightly better solution than that. So I'll have to drill a couple more holes in the grille just to fix them to the front panel. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the engine bay and the sort of front end. Not a huge amount of change since the last video. Moving on, you'll notice that the doors have the handles. They've got the wing mirrors, the glass, all the rubbers are in. I've also been building up the doors on the inside. So door seals are in. Got the sort of sill kick plates in as well. New striker pins for the doors. I've wax oiled with some built hamber in the bottom cavities of the doors, all the cavities in the sills, the tailgate, basically anywhere that needed it. The inner door frames are in, so the window runners, they're all in, all the locking mechanisms are in, and they were stripped and re-greased. Yep, the windows open and close just fine. Also stripped down the winder mechanisms and re-greased them so that the window moves nice and free. The wing mirrors that I have on the car are just the standard type that don't have the sort of adjustment knob here, so you have to actually reach out and adjust them. I am looking to change them actually for the sort of later type that has the adjustment knobs. Just so that there's no hole left here in the door card, and that it's just a wee bit easier to actually adjust them. Got an old pair sitting here, but they'll need kind of cleaned up and painted, and this one's missing the glass, but yeah, the plan is to get these onto the car. All the outer seals are totally original, other than the outer scraper seals. Rather than trying to get a hold of a decent pair of Scirocco ones, this is actually Mark IV Gulf 3-door ones that I've cut down just to sort of fit into the edges here. And yeah, they basically push right onto the top lip of the door. You might need to just squeeze the channels in a bit just to get a nice tight fit. And on the inside, they're not quite deep enough to fit into the clips that the Scirocco, you can just sort of see the top of one there. But that's okay, they're not required. As you can see, they stay right where they are. They're a really good fit actually, and they actually wipe the window as it comes up as well, unlike the original Scirocco ones. I do have 1 or 2 slight issues with running an OEM door card with this cage. The window winder unfortunately fouls the cage, so you can't really move it much more than that, so I'll have to come up with a solution for that. And the handle is incredibly close to the cage, so I might just need to adjust this bracket slightly just to try pull the handle in just ever so slightly, just so it clears the cage. Other than that, the plan is to run a completely OEM door card to start with anyway. And here's the door cards here. I believe these are the original door cards for the car, hence the state of them. They're totally covered in dust. The center portion here is completely separating away. You know, this is all cracked up. Speakers will be going, I won't be running no radio or anything. So yeah, plan is to refurbish these, clean them up, re-stick some of this stuff on. I've got a replacement door speaker pod that also came from Thomas at Dreadnought to replace this one. And then I've got a couple of speaker covers just to cover the empty speaker holes. And of course I don't want any water pissing in, so I'll need to sort of waterproof these, make up some membranes before the door cards go on. So I picked up this from Tool Station for a few quid. It's basically that heavy duty sort of builder's sheeting that they'd lay down at the bottom of a job, and you get a fair amount of it, easily enough to do 2 doors. So yeah, that's the plan with the doors. I'd highly recommend these Mark IV outer scrapers if you can't get a hold of decent Scirocco ones. So they really do just pop right on. And you probably pick them up for pennies from a breaker's yard, but they have to be from a 3-door, and you just cut them down to size. So yeah, passenger door is the same story, it just needs the membranes and the door card put back on. Again, the door seal and the kick plate were all cleaned up and popped back on. Interior wise, with the dash and the wiring and stuff, it's all just as it was. Still a bit of wiring to do, a bit of wiring to clean up and kind of cable tie up out the way. I have to run a couple more wires to this rear loom just for the rear demisters and the rear screen. This is for the number plate lights, which I'll get to in a second. And I'll need to run another feed just to power I'm going to run a little interior light just in the boot, just as they are originally, but we'll get to that in just a minute. You'll notice as well I'm running the original door cards for the sort of rear section. I had to just kind of cut them round here so they just fit round the wheel tubs quite nicely. Yeah, it's just lots of little jobs like wiring the reverse lights, the windscreen washer bottle. I'm thinking of fitting that just kind of down here. It's just little things like that. I've also decided now that I'm going to carpet the car. So basically I'll carpet this floor pan. I'll leave the tunnel exposed in white. I'll carpet this floor pan here, up and here. So again, I'll leave this tunnel section, carpet up in here, and then carpet the boot floor as well. Yeah, the intention there is basically just to tidy the car up a bit, make it look a little bit more presentable and a little bit less kind of rough and ready. I've got a couple of samples sent out just to check out. Quite like this top one. It's really hard to tell on the camera, but it looks quite a lot like the OEM carpet that you get in a Scirocco, and it has a nice kind of rubber backing to it. So yeah, I'm thinking of just sort of cutting sections of that and basically just sticking it into the floor. But anyway, that's a job for later on. So moving on to the rear. Again, rear quarter glasses in at both sides. Tailgate glasses in as well. Also got the exhaust back on. Managed to sort of heat shield the center section of that as well, but I'll show that next time I have it up in the air. Still need to address this small run in the paint, but that's okay. Also got the boot spoiler back on. There's a Dreadnought Customs seal kit underneath that as well. Again, thanks to Tom. And another thanks to Tom actually, he makes these little, I think they're acrylic discs. So basically when you delete the rear wiper, you can just glue in one of these to kind of almost give that sort of complete glass look from a distance. But yeah, obviously tail lights, badges, bumpers, all that stuff's back on. I threw on an old reg plate with one of the plastic surround things just to see how it looks. This is not the reg for the car, this is off of another Scirocco that has unfortunately been scrapped now, but a lot of the parts have been used in both this car and my other car. The boot lock is back on, a new seal on that as well. Got the struts and whatnot on. The Mark IV style number plate lights are in as well. I just need to run those wires that I mentioned earlier up to the back here and wire those in. I've got the boot trim refitted as well. It's cracked a little bit up here, but that's fine. And yeah, as I mentioned, I'm gonna run the sort of the little interior light. I've got the little sort of micro switch here, just basically so if I'm ever needing to sort of fill it up in the dark or whatever, or just, you know, throw the shopping in the boot here, it will light up quite nicely for me. It's worth mentioning as well of sort of wax oiled right in the back into the seams there, right down into the depths of the rear quarter at both sides, right over the wheel tub, so in behind that door card as well. This is the stuff I used for it. It's built Hamber. It's called Dynax S50. It's basically just like wax oil type stuff, but it's quite a big can, and it comes with a 600ml sort of straw attachment, which actually sprays like 360 degrees. So yeah, I'd recommend this if you're looking to sort of wax oil the cavities or the hard to reach bits in your car. Obviously the windscreen is still to go in. That's probably going to be one of the last things to go in. I've got a couple of windscreen seals here. So yeah, basically just need to find a screen, either second hand or new. I'm not too bothered. The sort of roof gutters, I've popped them back in as well, cleaned those up, popped them back in both sides. They went in fine. As for my sunroof delete, I basically just need to mask it right round and underneath as well, and just fill it with like probably use black tiger seal to be honest, and that'll just give it the kind of OEM sunroof look, but it'll still kind of just seal up this gap as well. And that is pretty much it for the kind of external parts, the sort of bolt-ons, other than obviously little things like fitting the wiper blades, but obviously I'll need a windscreen and stuff to do that. Interior wise, it's literally just a case of getting the carpet stuff in, get my seats back in, get the harnesses back in and hooked up to the harness bar and the cage, finish off a little bit of wiring, get the dash back in, get the digi dash and things like that going. Then it'll be a case of getting the engine running again, which really shouldn't be too bad. Most of the wiring is in place already. It should just need fuel and probably a few turns of the key just to get it going again. I will need to strip the brakes, both front and rear, just the calipers. Basically just clean them up, fit new pistons and seals. I've got the rebuild kits from Big Red, and I'll just give the calipers a spray of red as well. I'm also going to get the wheels refurbished and eventually put new tyres on as well. I'm a bit torn between gloss white or gloss black for the wheels. I quite like a white car with black wheels, but I do think that the white wheels complements the rest of the car quite well. So yeah, we'll have to have a think of that one. What I might do is though, take off 2 wheels at both sides and just rattle can them in gloss black and just fire them back on, and then I'll be able to kind of see from both sides of the car which colour I prefer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So not a huge amount to do, just a lot of little jobs. I'll try to make quite frequent sort of update videos on the car, so be sure to hit the subscribe button below to stay up to date with those videos. I'm getting very close to 1,000 subscribers now, so yeah, it'd be pretty cool to hit the 1K mark before the new year. But yeah, that's enough waffling from me for this video. As you can see, progress has been quite good. There's still a lot of little jobs left to do, but we're getting there slowly. But yeah, I'm going to sign this one off. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.